In a green and quiet forest, there was a small path. It was called the path. The path was not wide. The path was not busy. On either side of the path, there was green grass, there were small yellow flowers, there were leaves falling gently to the ground. On the path, there lived a small turtle. His name was Toti. Toti was a quiet turtle. Toti was also diligent. He was never in a hurry. He didn't like to run. He liked to walk slowly, one step at a time. Every morning, Toti left his small house. Toti's house was near the path. His house was simple. His house was safe. In front of the house, there was a large, warm rock. That morning, the sun shone softly. A gentle breeze blew. Toti opened his eyes. She smiled slightly. Toti thought to herself, "Today is a good day." Toti then walked down the path. Her steps were slow. Tap, tap, tap. Slow but sure. Suddenly, Toti saw something on the ground. It was a large leaf. On the leaf was an invitation to a forest party. The invitation was brightly colored. There were pictures of flowers, there were pictures of fruit, there was a picture of a small lamp. Toti read it slowly. Today, there will be a forest party. The party starts when the sun is almost down. Toti smiled again. She was happy. She wanted to go to the forest party. The forest party was at the end of the path. It was quite a long walk. To Toti, the distance felt long. Toti thought for a moment. She didn't panic. She wasn't afraid of being late. Toti thought to herself, "I'm walking slowly, but I won't stop." Toti started walking. Her steps were small. Her steps were calm. On the path, Toti saw the grass swaying. She saw butterflies flying. She saw ants walking quickly. The ants were running. They were so fast. Toti continued to walk slowly. Toti wasn't jealous. Toti didn't want to go fast. Toti trusted in her own pace. Each step was filled with patience. One step, then another. Time passed. The sun rose slowly. The tree shadows changed direction. Toti remained on the path. She didn't stop. She didn't sit down. She kept walking. Toti felt a little tired, but she remained calm. She took a deep breath. Toti said to herself, "I'm slow, but I'm moving forward." The path was still long, the forest feast was still far away, but Toti didn't give up. With a patient heart and determined steps, Toti continued walking toward the forest feast. Toti's journey had just begun. Toti continued walking along the path. Her steps remained slow. Tap, tap, tap. The sun was higher now. The light was warm. The ground felt soft under Toti's feet. To the right of the path, Toti saw a large tree. Beneath the tree, there was a cool shade. The shade looked comfortable. Toti paused for a moment. She looked at the shade of the tree. She felt like sitting down. Toti said quietly to herself, "The shade is nice. I can rest for a while." But Toti thought again. She remembered her purpose. She wanted to get to the forest party on time. Toti took a deep breath. She smiled slightly. Then she said to herself, "I may be tired, but I won't stop for long." Toti didn't sit down. She continued walking. Tap, tap, tap. Soon, a rabbit arrived. The rabbit hopped around. His movements were swift. The rabbit saw Toti. He chuckled. "Hello, Toti. Are you still walking?" the rabbit asked. Toti turned slowly. "Yes," Toti replied softly. The rabbit spoke again. "It's still a long way to go. Why don't you stop for a while? Or take a nap?" Toti listened. He wasn't angry. He remained calm. Toti answered quietly, I'm walking slowly, but I keep walking." The rabbit shrugged. "If it were me, I'd run fast," the rabbit said. Then the rabbit hopped away. Toti watched the rabbit walk away. He wasn't jealous. He wasn't sad. Toti thought to herself, "Every animal has its own way." Toti continued walking. His small steps remained the same, not fast, not stopping. On the path, Toti saw flowers. There were red flowers, there were blue flowers. They smelled sweet. The flowers seemed to be calling. "Let's stop for a moment," it seemed. Toti smiled. She looked at the flowers with pleasure, but her feet kept moving. Tap, tap, tap. Toti felt a little thirsty. She drank water from her small bottle. She drank standing up. She didn't sit down. After drinking, Toti continued walking. She didn't forget her goal. Time passed. The sun began to set slightly. The shadows grew longer. Toti was still on the path. She wasn't there yet, but she had already come a long way. Toti said to herself, "I'm slow, I'm patient, I'm not stopping." With the calm heart and determined steps, Toti continued walking toward the forest feast. Toti's footsteps could still be heard on the path. Tap, tap, tap. The previously clear sky began to change. White clouds moved slowly. Some clouds turned light gray. Toti looked up. He looked at the sky with calm eyes. "Looks like it's going to rain," Toti thought. Not long after, the first drop of water fell to the ground. Plick, then another. Plick. The rain fell slowly. Not a heavy downpour, just a gentle, light rain. The leaves trembled. The ground began to wet. The path became a little slippery. Toti paused for a moment. He looked around. Near the path, there was a large mushroom. It was wide like an umbrella. It looked dry underneath. Toti walked under the mushroom. He stood there. The rain didn't hit his shell. Toti wasn't upset. He didn't complain. He said quietly to himself, "Rain is also part of the journey." It rained for a while. Tick, tick, tick. Toti waited patiently. He wasn't anxious. He didn't force his way on the slippery ground. While waiting, Toti heard a small sound. Knock, knock. Toti turned his head. Near the mushrooms, there was a snail. The snail was walking very slowly, slower than Toti. "Hello," the snail said softly. "Hello," Toti replied. "Are you going to the forest party too?" the snail asked. "Yes," Toti replied. The snail smiled slightly. "Me too, but I'm very slow." Toti smiled back. "I'm slow too," he said. The snail looked pleased. "We don't need to hurry," the snail said. "The important thing is that we keep walking." Toti nodded slowly. He felt warm inside. The rain began to stop. The clouds moved away. The sky brightened again. Drops of water fell from the leaves. Pluck, pluck. Toti emerged from under the mushroom. The ground was still wet, but no longer slippery. "Thank you for waiting with us," said the snail. "You're welcome," replied Toti. They walked together for a while. 2 small steps, 2 patient hearts. Soon, their paths parted. The snail headed for the small stream. Toti remained on the path. "Hopefully we'll get there," said the snail. "Sure," replied Toti quietly. Toti continued on her way. Tap, tap, tap. Her heart felt stronger. She learned that waiting is also part of patience. The sun was starting to set. The light wasn't as bright as in the morning. The wind was cooler. Toti was still walking. Her steps were the same, slow and calm. But Toti's body was starting to feel heavy. Her legs ached. Her neck was tired. Toti paused for a moment. She looked down. "I'm tired," she thought to herself. The path was still ahead. The party wasn't in sight yet. Toti sighed. She wasn't crying, but her heart felt heavy. "I've been walking for a long time," she thought. "I'm still not there yet." For the first time, Toti felt doubt. She looked to the side. There was a large rock. It was flat and comfortable. Toti approached. She climbed slowly. She sat down. Toti wasn't sleeping. She just sat there quietly. The wind touched her face. Leaves fell slowly. Toti closed her eyes for a moment. "Will I make it?" he thought. Then he remembered that morning. He remembered the party invitation. He remembered his own smile. Toti opened his eyes. "I'm slow," he said quietly, "but I never stop for long." He stepped down from the rock. He stood up straight. His first step felt heavy, but the second felt lighter. Tap, tap, tap. Little by little, Toti walked again. In the distance, he heard a faint sound of music. It wasn't clear, but there was a soft rhythm. Toti's heart fluttered. That's the sound of a party, he thought. A small excitement grew in him. Not a hurried excitement, but a calm excitement. Toti didn't quicken his pace. He remained the same. But now, every step felt full of hope.
The path began to widen. The grass on either side grew neater. Small lights hung from tree branches. Toti smiled. He knew he was close. Up ahead, he saw several animals. There was a small bird. There was a hedgehog. There was a deer. They were all walking in the same direction. "Hello, Toti," the rabbit's voice rang out. The rabbit from earlier was now standing near the tree. He looked a little out of breath. "You're here," the rabbit said. Toti nodded slowly. "Yes, you took so long," the rabbit said. "But you're right. I stopped and fell asleep." Toti didn't laugh. He just smiled. Before long, the snail from earlier appeared. He was very slow, but he smiled proudly. "I'm almost there," the snail said. "Great," Toti said. All the animals gathered around. No one was teasing each other. No one was in a hurry. They walked together toward the light. A forest clearing opened up before them. Small lamps glowed warmly. The table was filled with fruit and flowers. Soft music played. All the animals smiled. Toti stepped inside. He arrived. Not the earliest, but right on time. Toti felt at peace. He sat by a tree. He enjoyed the fresh fruit. He heard laughter. The rabbit sat beside him. The snail was there too. "We're here," said the snail. "Yes," Toti replied. Toti looked up at the sky. The stars were beginning to appear. He said to himself, "I'm slow, I'm patient, and I'm here." The forest party was lively. No one was in a hurry. Everyone was enjoying the moment. And Toti, the patient little turtle, smiled serenely.